Welcome to the example game of Cthulhu Death May Die. First of all, we need to pick what season to play. For this example, we're just going to play with Season 1. Tabletop Simulator makes it easy, just press place. Looking in your Season 1 box, it's time to pick your episode. I'm going to play the very first episode, Blasphemous Alchemy. As shown in the original video, we're going to take our episode card here, flip it over, take the tiles out of our box, place our cultists where they have to go, all that sort of thing, and we have our map set up. After that's all set up, it's time to pick which Elder One you're going to play with. The tabletop version recently just got updated with the Season 3 and Season 4 Elder Ones, so I can't wait to play with them. I'm just going to go with Cthulhu, nice and easy one. So you're just going to throw the Elder One's card here, his monster card here, take the summoning track token and put Cthulhu on top of there as shown in the first video. Our seasons picked, our episodes picked, and our Elder Ones picked, it's time for some investigators. I'm going to pick two random ones here. Let's go with Fatima. And we'll go with the kid. Place your character sheets near the board and fill them up with your tentacle tokens. And of course, put both your investigators in the starting space. Our last thing to do now is to pick our insanities, so let us draw them like so. The base games, it says you're supposed to show them upright, so we'll do it. Board set up, the Elder One's set up, everything's ready to go. Let's start playing. It's time to pick which character we want to play the first turn with, so I'm going to start with Fatima. Now remember, we have 3 actions that we could do per turn, so we're going to start off by doing a run. I'm going to go 1 space here, 1 space here, and 1 space here. That is the free and the run. Each one of these cultists are going to follow me in each room that I move through. Remember, if you leave a room with a fire token in it, you need to put something on your sheet to remember how many tokens you've went past. Now for my second action, I'm going to do an attack. I'm going to pick one enemy and choose to attack them. I'm going to make a roll. Remember from our first video that making a roll means you roll 3 black dice plus whatever greens you have. My character doesn't have any additional greens, so we're just going to roll the 3 black dice. I'm going to pick this cultist to fight. And we roll a success and a tentacle. I could spend stress to re-roll this, so I'm going to spend 1 stress to re-roll that tentacle and see what we get. We get another success. With that, it's going to kill this cultist, but we don't take that sanity damage because we did re-roll it. And for my third action, we're just going to attack this cultist now. And we get 3 things. He's dead, and we're going to take a sanity damage as well. Our 3 actions are done. It's time to draw a Mythos card. See what happens. Students go mad. Remember, we're reading it from the top down. If you have any student companions, discard 1 student and summon 1 cultist in your space. We do not have any student companions. They are discovery cards. We do not have them, so we are not going to do this card. Next point of business is investigate or fight. If we're safe, we get to draw a discovery card. If we're in a room with enemies, we are not safe, so they are going to attack me. I'm going to look at what enemy it is. It's a cultist, and then I'm going to look on our storyboard over here, and we can see the cultist has 2 green dice for attacks. Now I'm going to roll the 2 green dice. Any successes will do damage to me. Any tentacles will do sanity damage. It's going to do 1 damage to me. I could spend a sanity to reroll this, but I'm just going to take 1 wound. Alrighty, it's time for the end of turn effects. To begin with, we're going to check if there's any Elder One effects that happen at the end of the turn. It doesn't look like it, and there's no episode actions that ended the turn, so we can just ignore that part. Next up is dealing with your fires. I'm going to roll 1 black die. Any successes do a damage to me. Any tentacles do sanity damage. I'm going to take 1 damage, and I'm going to remove that token. Next up is checking my Mythos pile. Is there free summoning size? No, they're right. Move on. Alrighty, let's do the kid's turn now. Let's look at some skills. So she has the marksman skill, so she can actually attack enemies from a space away. So I feel like that may be a good idea, so we're not taking that much damage. So I'm going to move her. I'm going to go 1, 2 into this space right here. Then I'm going to roll for attack for my second action, and I'm going to target this cultist. Let's see what we do. We do 2 successes. That's going to kill the cultist, and we're going to take tentacle damage. Then for my last action, I'm going to move into the room. Remember, I moved out of the room, put a fire token on me. That's all my free actions done. So of course, it's Mythos card time. Let's open it up, and we get Ilya Awakens. So each cultist currently on an Ilya space moves 2 spaces towards you. There's no Ilya spaces on the board right now. This is the Elder One's effects. This token right here, you'll find all their effects on this card here. Next up, I'm going to summon cultists on the yellow and the blue gate. With both of them there, that means I'm going to summon 1 on both gates. We're going to take this cultist here, put him on the yellow. I'm going to put this cultist on the blue gate. That's our Mythos card all sorted now, and I'm going to separate these two into two piles because this one has a summoning symbol. Next up is Investigator Fight. We're in a safe room. There's no enemies, so I'm going to draw a discovery card and have a look at it. The lock cabinet. I could probably pry this open. I can either take 3 wounds to claim the Amulet of Nagahal, or if I do not, I claim the Spirit of Nagahal. And let's see what it is. The Amulet of Nagahal, if you would take wounds from fire, you may instead deal that many wounds to one enemy in your space. That is really, really good. So I'm going to take the 3 wounds. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to take the card. In real life, you would take this card and have it over here to show you what side of the discovery card that you're using. Tabletop Simulator, I just put a little icon over it just so it's easier. End of turn effects now, so we're just going to go through our list again one more time. Is there any Elder One effects? No, there isn't. Move on. Fire, we do have a fire. Let's roll that 1 black die because we have 1 fire here. It doesn't do anything. Let's get rid of that token. And then lastly, Mythos card. We don't have free summoning symbols, so we move on to the next turn. Alrighty, Fatima, turn 2. I'm going to move her into here with her move. This cultist is going to follow me. I'm going to attack the first cultist. Let's see what we get. We get 2 successes. Bye-bye. And we're going to attack the second cultist. I'm just moving the tentacle here by accident. And I'm going to get a success and 2 tentacles. I'm going to spend a stress to re-roll this one. And I'm going to get another success. I'm going to take 2 of the sanity damage. And you're dead. With that done, that is all her actions. Mythos card time. Star Spawn. Move the Star Spawn 2 spaces towards you. He's not on the board, we ignore it, but we're going to summon him to the red space, which is over here. Investigator Fight. We're in a safe room. Let's get a discovery card. Take 2 stress to claim the generator, or 1 to get the ammonia. I'm going to take the 2 stress to get the generator because companions are extra health. Plus, it means I'm going to gain 1 level in toughness. If I have that skill on the board here, I would increase it by 1. If not, look in your box. These little tokens here will tell you exactly what that skill does. I was going to throw it right here beside my character sheet so I remember that I have this skill now. Remember, if this companion dies, I'm going to lose this skill. Alright, end of turn, nothing happens. Let's move over to the kid. Now the kid's in a safe room here with no enemies, but we are going to be able to do some episode actions. If we look over here at the actual episode card, we can see the episode actions are here and here. We can either get rid of a fire or we could destroy an equipment. It says make a roll, so roll 3 black dice. Every success deals 1 wound, and the lab has 4 wounds to destroy it, and we'll flip it over to reveal its effect. Remember, the goal of the game is to disrupt the ritual, so we need to destroy 4 of the 5 lab. Alrighty, first action, let's destroy this lab. I'm going to do 1 damage to it. I'll spend a stress. Come on, baby. Get another one. I'll spend another stress. Let's see what we can get here. We can only get 2. However, we have Arcane Mastery, so when I make it a roll, I may count an Elder's 9 as a success. So that is 3 damage on this token. Second action, I'm going to attack it again, and we are going to do enough to destroy it. Now the token is destroyed, we are going to flip it over just like the episode card said, and it says Inferno. Place a fire token in this space and each adjacent space. In the base game, there is a set amount of fire tokens, and there is extra tokens because of this episode. If you run out of them tokens, you just don't add them to the board anymore. So I'm going to put 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. For my last action, I am now going to rest. I can heal a total of 3 points in stress or health, or combined, whatever way you want to do it. I'm going to just take 1, 2, 3 in health. That's done. It's time for a Mythos card. We're going to draw it, and we get Fire Vampire. Notice we have free summoning symbols here. Remember, we don't look at this until the end of the turn, so just ignore that for now. The nearest Fire Vampire is going to move 2 spaces towards me, then place a fire token in its space. The closest Fire Vampire is over here, and he needs to move 2 spaces towards me. Because he's on the other map, he has to go through the stairs to get close to me. He's going to go 1, 2 into this room. If he moves again, he needs to move through the stairs, so he'll move 1 space from here to here to get over to me. With the Mythos done, it's time to investigate or fight. Investigate. Let's see what discovery cards we get. I could take 2 stress to claim the feral student, and if not, I gain a guilty conscience. I'm going to take the 2 stress and take the student. The feral student is Margot, the main lady from Donegal, and she gives us 1 level in brawling. Remember, add that little token to your character sheet so you know what's going on. That all done, it's time for the end of turn effects. So let's go through them all. First things first, is there any Elder One effects? No, it doesn't say at the end of turn here, so we're going to ignore it. Next is fire. We haven't moved from a room with fire, so we can ignore that. And lastly, we're going to look at Mythos cards. We have free summoning tokens, so that means we are going to take all our cards, flip them over, put them back in, and give it a nice shake. We're going to advance the Elder One. He's going to move up one tile in his track. Then we're going to look at his stage card to see what it says about advancing. When Cthulhu advances, I'm going to put an Ilia token on my space. If there's already one there, I put it on the nearest space. Next up is summon a cultist on each Ilia space. Remember, we're reading this top down, so the Ilia space is now in our room, and then we summon a cultist. So the cultist, come on in here, buddy. And lastly, I'm going to move the star spawn one space towards me. And if he's not on the board, I'm going to summon it. However, the star spawn is on the board, so he's going to move one space towards me. Next up, we're going to look at the episode cards to see what happens in this specific episode when the Elder One advances. I'm going to place one fire token in each space that has a cultist and no fire in the room. There's two rooms that there's cultists with no fire in, so we're going to throw one there, and we're going to throw one there. Remember, if the Elder One advances and he reaches the red point, he's summoned to the board. If you advance and it reaches the end point, you lose the game instantly. Now that the advancing is done, it's time to move on to the next player's turn. Let's go, Fatima. Ready for her first action. She is going to attack the lab. We're going to do 1 damage to it, and we're going to take a tentacle. With that, we have actually reached an insanity threshold. First things first, our mental illness is gonna play out. We have hypochondria. We're gonna take 1 stress for every wound I have, and if I have no wounds, I'm gonna heal all my stress. When it says you have no wounds, it means you haven't took any damage. Currently, Fatima has took 2 wounds, so she should take 2 stress. However, she has no stress to take, so nothing happened. If the card says you can't take any more stress, you will take wounds instead, then you would take wound damage. If not, the stress damage is just lost. Second action, Fatima, we are going to roll the dice, and we are going to do nice. We're going to do 3 damage to it. We're going to flip this bitch over, and we're going to heal all our stress. Nice, that worked out very, very well. For her last action, she is going to do a little bit of a run, I think. She's going to go 1, 2, and 3. She's going to get followed by the cultist and the Byakhee. Of course, we move through 2 rooms with fire in it, so we're going to put 2 tokens on us to remember that for the end of the turn. With all my actions done, we move to the next phase. Draw our Mythos card. Ready, it is the thing that should not be. If Cthulhu is on the board, each investigator loses sanity. Not on the board, we ignore that. If Cthulhu is on the track, which he is, each investigator is going to take 2 stress. Oh, and just like I was saying in the mental illness, for every stress you cannot take 1 wound instead. The Fatima is going to take 2, no problem. However, the kid is out of stress, so she's going to take 2 wounds instead. Next up is investigate our fight. We're going to look at the monsters in the room, who's attacking us, a Byakhee and a cultist. You can do the fighting in any order, so you just do whatever one you want to do first. I'm going to start off with the cultist. Is 2 green. He is going to attack Fatima, and he is going to do 2 wounds to her. I'm going to spend 2 stress to re-roll them to see if I can take less damage. I'm going to take 1 damage. Now it moves on to the Byakhee. Now, unlike the cultist, the Byakhee has a special ability. When it attacks, each Elder Sign also counts as a success, just like Arcane Mastery on a player. He has 1 black and 2 green dice to roll. Let's give it a roll here. And what are we going to get? We are going to get 1 damage and a tentacle damage. We're going to take 1 sanity damage. We're going to take wound. We are really close to dying, so we need to worry about that. Remember, though, we have the toughness ability that allows us to reroll this dice if we want. I'm going to reroll it, and we're going to see what we get. We get blank, so we're not actually going to take that wound. It's time to go on to the end of turn effects. Is there any Elder One effects? No, there ain't. Fire. Ooh, fire is going to be a little scary because we only have 2 HP left. So let's roll these. And we're going to take 1 damage from it. Fatima isn't in a good position now. So next turn, the kid's going to have to get over here quick and try and help her out. Next up, we're going to look at the Mythos pile, and we're all good there. So we can move over to the kid's turn. Now it's the kid's turn. We notice that Fatima is about to die. We really need to help her out. We need to get rid of these enemies and let her rest on her turn. Remember, this is why you need to think about your actions before you do them. Fatima probably should have rested before she went into the fight over here, but it is what it is. Time for the kid's turn. So she is going to move 1, to and free to this space. Both cultists are gonna follow her in here. She doesn't really care about being attacked, however, so we're gonna just try and focus over here. The marksman ability allows us to attack an enemy one space away, so we're gonna target the Bayaki. We're gonna make a roll, which is 3 black dice, and we're gonna do 1 damage and a sanity damage to ourselves. The Byaki's gonna take 1. The kid has reached an insanity threshold, so let's have a little look at her mental illness. She has a fear of crowds. Take 1 stress for every other figurine in your space, enemy, or investigator. If you're alone, heal all your stress. I'm not alone, I'm gonna take stress, but I can't take any more, so it's just ignored. We're gonna level up, however, so we're gonna level up our marksman right there. Saying that, I completely forgot to level up Fatima earlier when she hit her threshold, so we're just gonna give her Arcane Mastery. Time for the kid's final action. She's gonna do her shooting again against the Bayaki. We're gonna get our 3 black dice, but because of our new skill, we're gonna gain 2 green dice when attacking someone not in our space. So we're gonna get lots of extra damage here. Another 2, which should be enough. Yep, 3 HP, and the Bayaki falls to the gun. We're gonna take a sanity damage, and that's us. It's time to draw a Mythos card. The Sleeper Awakened. If there are 2 or more Ilias spaces adjacent to each other, at the end of your turn, advance Cthulhu on the track as if there were free summoning symbols. Now there isn't 2 Ilias spaces adjacent to each other. However, if there was, at the end of the turn, we would just do an advance where we'd put all our cards back in here and shuffle them up, advance them, all that again. It's time to investigate our fight. So this could be the make or break it for this battle. Are these cultists going to kill the kid? First cultist is going to attack the kid, and we are going to get no damage. And the second cultist is going to attack, and she's going to do 2 damage. And the kid goes down to 1 HP. Oh, we're in danger. End of turn effects. There's no Elder One effects. There's no fire, and there's no Mythos. At this point, I think we've played enough turns to know how to actually play this game. I'm going to continue this game until Cthulhu is either summoned or I disrupt the ritual. So I'll see you then. Alrighty, boys, we're deep in the game now. Fatima's doing pretty well. She got another level up. She also got another card here. She got Stealth, which was actually quite helpful, and the kid leveled up quite a lot. She's been taking a lot of sanity damage actually, and she got the Monkey Paw as well, which is pretty decent. Right now we're over here. We took quite a bit of damage to the star spawn. There's a cultist in here with me. We're covered in fire over here. There's Ilia tokens bloody everywhere now. I come back here now because we are at the end of Fatima's turn here. We're gonna advance 1 more, which is gonna summon the Elder One. The only problem with that is we haven't disrupted the ritual. And the problem with not disrupting the ritual means that Cthulhu is completely impervious to damage. He's invulnerable. So once we summon him, our main goal is to disrupt the ritual so we can actually start fighting him. So let's go through the end of turn sequence. Any end of turn effects? No, there isn't. Is there any fires? No, there isn't. Mythos cards, is there free summoning symbols? Yes, there is. So let's put this back in here and start shuffling the Mythos deck. Next up, the Cthulhu token is going to move up to the red area. With that, it means Cthulhu is going to be summoned to the board. First things first you got to do is take stage 1 and move it over to the side, revealing stage 2. It says, when revealed, summon Cthulhu into your space, and each enemy in an Ilias space moves 1 space towards you. So we're gonna put Cthulhu right here in the same room as Fatima. It's a bit tight in here, but you know. Then each enemy in an Ilias space is gonna move 1 space towards me. The only ones are over here, these 2 cultists over here. If I can click them, let me click them, there we go. They are gonna move 1 space over here to where the kid is. Now that Cthulhu is summoned to the board, we're going to leave the summoning token right here so we know where it is. We're going to look over here. The stage 1 is still active as well as stage 2 now, which means if Cthulhu advances, this still happens. Then on stage 2, we can see he has 12 HP that we need to do to get to stage 3. He is going to roll 2 black and 2 green to attack me. And now we actually have an at the end of turn effect. So that's going to be putting an Ilia token in Cthulhu's space, and there's already a token there, put it on the nearest space. So we need to remember to do that every end turn now. Now because Cthulhu was summoned on the end turn, it is now the kid's turn. What she's going to do is try and maybe get over here and disrupt the ritual here so we can actually attack Cthulhu, because right now we can't do any damage to him. So for her first move, she's going to move into this space. These 2 cultists are going to follow me, but I'm just going to kind of ignore them. I'm going to roll to attack the thing for my second action. Come on, baby. We are going to get 1 damage plus an arcane mastery damage. So that's, and we're going to take 2 on our sanity damage. For our third action, we are going to roll again. And we are going to get 2 more. Great. That's awesome. Which is going to flip this over. And we're going to place a fire token in here and an adjacent space. 1 there, 1 there, and 1. Oh, there's no more fire tokens in that pile. There we go. There's 3 fire tokens left on the map now. With that all done, the ritual is now technically disrupted, which means Cthulhu can now be damaged by our investigators. If Cthulhu wasn't already on the board, when we disrupted the ritual, then he would instantly be summoned and you would leave the summoning token in whatever space of the track it was in. With that all covered, we need to kill Cthulhu, and it's time for Fatima's turn. Cthulhu's mirror image is now in our room and he is now susceptible to damage. So Fatima is going to take that knife, read some words off her little cards here, and try and do some damage to him. So we're going to get to our attack on Cthulhu. We have to pick him as our target. We get our 3 black dice plus 1 green for the threshold. We don't have any abilities though that make that any better. So we're just going to roll and see what we get. We're going to do 2 damage plus 1 from the arcane mastery. We're going to put that beside him. He has 12 HP, so it's going to be quite hard to get him down. For the second action, we are gonna get absolutely no damage. Oh god. I'm gonna spend 2 stress on that one. 2 stress. We're gonna take a sanity damage, and we're gonna do 1 damage, 2 damage, and another damage for the elder sign. He's on 6. He's halfway through it now. One more action this turn. We're gonna do another 3 damage. Alrighty, Cthulhu has 3 HP left in the stage, so Fatima did pretty good. The only problem now is everyone gets to attack her back. Before the Elder One is summoned on the board, if one of our investigator dies, everyone loses the mission. However, now that the Elder One is on the board, if any of our investigators die, we can just keep going and try and kill the Elder One. I only say that because there's a lot of scary people in this room and I don't know if Fatima is gonna make it. Let's find out though. Starting this beatdown off, the cultist is gonna hit me with 2 green dice and he's gonna do 2 damage. My god. 1 and 2. We have no stress to heal us. However, we do have a reroll with toughness. We're still going to take that damage. Next up, it will be Cthulhu to attack. He's going to roll 2 black dice plus 2 green dice. Alright, Cthulhu, let's see what you got, buddy. You're going to do 1 damage to me. He's a little bitch. And lastly is the Star Spawn to attack. He's going to roll 3 black dice, and he has the special ability of, when attacking or being attacked while in an Ilia space, going to add 2 sanity damage to the roll. We are in an Ilia space, so that is going to matter. He's going to roll 3 black dice against me, and he's going to do 1 damage plus 2 sanity damage. I'll take 1 damage, and I will die instantly, so I don't even have to worry about the sanity damage. But if I was, I would take the 2 from the dice there, plus another 2 because of his ability, bringing me to here. With that, though, Fatima is now deceased. We're going to remove her from the board, and it's up to the kid to win this battle. If a player dies while the Elder One is on the board, just immediately go to the end turn sequence. Is there any effects? Yes, there is. Plus an Elia token in Cthulhu's space. There's already one in his space, so I have to put it in an adjacent one, so we'll put it there. Any fires, we ignore that, because, you know, I'm dead. Mythos cards, we only have 1 summoning symbol, so we continue on. Time for the kid to put in some work. So she is going to shoot Cthulhu from where she stands. This level up here allowed her to attack enemies from 2 spaces away, actually. So it's going to be pretty good here. So we're going to roll 3 black dice, plus 2 green for her level up, plus another 2 green from her insanity threshold. We're going to target Cthulhu. I only need to do 3 damage to kill him. So we're going to do 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. God damn, Cthulhu, a bit of overkill. And that is going to pop him out of existence. When you kill a stage of the Elder One, it just means you take him off the board, and then during the end turn, you will do the next stage. Now it's time for end of turn effects. I can't put an Ilia token in his space, so we're just going to ignore this. Do I have fire? No, I don't. I haven't moved. And Mythos cards, we don't need to worry about it. So let's just continue on to summoning again. Now that Cthulhu died in this turn, it's time to unlock our next stage. So move this to the side and we get stage 3. When it's revealed, we're going to move Cthulhu to the blue gate, and each investigator in an Ilia space takes 1 wound and loses a sanity. So we're gonna put him in the blue gate right here. We're gonna take 1 wound and we're gonna take a sanity. God damn, that's gonna kill the kid instantly, and we are gonna lose this game. Now, we definitely lost the game, but I do want to show off what else happens in the game. So we're just gonna move all these guys out of here, put the kid right there so she can blast his face off next turn. Now that we've unlocked stage 3, we back up to 12 HP, and we have another end turn effect, and he has an additional dice to roll when attacking us. Remember, each stage stays active throughout the game, so when he advances, we're still going to do stage 1. At the end of turn, we're still going to do this on stage 2, and we're going to do this on stage 3. And when Cthulhu attacks, he's going to do 2 black, 2 green, plus another green. We're gonna pretend it's the kid's turn again, and we're gonna just get her to blast and blast and blast and blast. We're just gonna say Cthulhu now dies again. When that happens, you're gonna do the win revealed, move Cthulhu to the starting space, and each investigator must discard all item and companion cards. Oh, it's so fucking strong. And we take a wound for every card we want to keep. That's really, really strong, Cthulhu. It really is. And then he also has an ability on here. If you need to place an Ilia token on the board but cannot, each investigator loses 2 sanity. We're going to be adding an additional black die and green die on top of the 2 black, 2 green, and the green from stage 3. So Cthulhu's going to do lots of damage in his attacking phase. He's back up to 12 wounds though for his final stage. So once we get rid of that, we're gonna win the game. Now the kid here has tried her hardest to try and kill Cthulhu, but he's brought him down to just 1 HP. He's holding on with the last of his breath, and he's about to slap her back. We're just gonna ignore the Mythos card. We're just gonna let Cthulhu slap the shit out of her and get his victory. I feel like he's gonna murder the fuck out of her here. For Cthulhu's attack, he's gonna roll 2 green dice, plus 2 black, plus another green, and plus black. So 3 black and 4 green. Now he's gonna roll his 3 black dice plus 4 green dice. Let's see what we get. We're gonna get 4 damage on me. Oh, that's gonna give him 1 HP. However, we're gonna take sanity damage, and that is gonna make the kid go completely insane. When a character goes completely insane, they are considered dead. Just like that, Cthulhu wins this epic war, and we've pretty much covered everything in the Cthulhu Death May Die game. If there's anything else of the game you want to know, leave a comment and I'll try and address it. Till next time, my friends, peace.